Okay, back at it. There's been some small vacations, extra hot days again. We're kind of chilling. It might storm later, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's been chill times now, so it's video time, and it is going to be Frost Cave time. Got more Frost Caves to explore. Hopefully, let's see. What do we got? Yeah, we got a Frost Cave there. We got a whole bunch of Frost Caves, okay. But yeah, that one is what I want to go to. And let's see, we're good on that. Let's just take, I don't know. Well, this is going to hold a slot regardless, so we'll take a bunch of those. I could have just maxed it out, but that's fine. And I think the blank one should be good. But yeah, I have some things to talk about. I know I've been gone for a bit, so I definitely should have, but some things have just kind of cropped up, and then some things that have just sort of appeared out of nowhere, you know? So, I know it sounds like I basically said the same thing there, but things pop up sort of naturally, and then things just boom! Just immediately like, oh, I should talk about that. The first thing is going to be pretty obvious. I mean, it's just a side thing, like a YouTube-related thing. But I've been getting copyright claims on my Ashlands trailer reaction, which is from like 2 years ago at this point. And most of the... Oh, okay, bro. Most of the AdSense I've already gotten, so I don't really care. It's like, oh, yeah, you know. Take the sense that you're getting. That's fine. And what's really strange, sir? Alright, bro. What's really odd, I'll just grind arrow levels on you, bow levels. The strangest thing by far is that this is on the premiere video. For the Ashlands reaction. It is based off of that. It is not based off of anything that, like, any music that I played in the background, because I didn't play any. It's the premiere music that gets automatically put in if you're watching a live premiere on YouTube. Their own fucking feature. And, I mean, okay, I was tempted. I really wanted to. Goodbye, sir. I really wanted to... Did he drop a trophy? He did. Hello, hello. Beautiful. I thought I saw that text. And we got a Drake. Sir, don't you know I just gained hella levels? Alright, well, I guess he wouldn't. Alright, I guess it's hitting nighttime. But yeah, this is their own premiere feature. And the music that they wanted to play. And they must have either ran out of the licensing, or people are filing false claims, which, I mean, that's been known to happen. And I doubt YouTube, as big as that, as ridiculous as that company seems, I doubt they would just neglect to redo the licensing from these things, especially because of the source of the claims. The source of the claims have been nonsense studios from the middle of nowhere. Just scam claims, as far as I'm concerned. Just nothing too noticeable. Nothing really to worry about. But they've been repeatedly claiming every single, I assume, every single premiere, live premiere that has certain audio in it, that YouTube automatically puts in. They just claim it because YouTube lets them. Basically, YouTube is letting these rando false claimers completely shut down their own feature, effectively. Because if new videos are just going to get claimed and people want to, like, do reactions or just have them, people aren't going to do premieres. Like, I'm never going to do a premiere ever again, as long as it still is there. Because if people want to ever do a good reaction with quality commentary, like I did for Valheim's and Iron Gates, it's just gonna get copyright claimed. And then who the fuck cares, right? Nobody's gonna do it. So I'm not gonna do it because I can't foster community from it here on YouTube. So there's no value in it. There's no point in that. And you might be thinking, why not just cut the intro of the premiere? That's because I have valuable things to say. There are important measures. I guess it's morning, huh? There are important things to preface quality commentary with most of the time. Most of the time, you can't just go straight into a topic. You have to take your time and ease into it with appropriate context. And so, being able to load in to the premiere ahead of time, which is, again, the whole point of it, and being able to add in essential context and good enough lead in to the actual reaction and critical discussion at hand. This is important to be able to react with copyright claim not fucking with you. Very important to be able to have that. And YouTube just doesn't care. They don't care, apparently, that their own system can't harbor more clicks, more views, more money, and more community appreciation for them. They just don't fucking care about that. Or it's just a massive oversight. Who would have guessed, of course, you know, with the Susan era of YouTube, these types of oversights were pretty common, it feels. So I'm not exactly surprised, but even as just like a big corporation under Google, to be arbitrarily losing out on money because you can't just take a real person and just look at it for 2 seconds is mind-boggling. And I almost like filed a counterclaim, and they're like, okay, well, put the reason in. Okay, you have the reason, good. Now you need your full legal name, and then we have a disclaimer here that if you have a false counterclaim, that we can delete your whole channel. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that then. Fuck that, you know? It's okay. Like, if you guys have fucked this up to begin with, I don't trust you to not fuck up the validity of the counterclaim and just delete my whole fucking channel. Like, it's so not worth it. And, yeah, just don't file it then. People are just prone to not file it, and, you know, if the creators and people who are doing stuff that's under fair use are not making YouTube money from it, or they're being arbitrarily punished in regards to that, there's just going to be less YouTube videos, which means less ad revenue, which means company does worse. So, get your shit together, YouTube. You introduced this feature, and now you're killing it. It's just better to have community aspects in that regard. It's a ridiculous thing. Alright. With that out of the way, I want to talk about, for the main gaming topic, game identity, and specifically with the term identity crisis. You might see this in Steam reviews, you might just hear it casually understanding game rhetoric in terms of just gamers discussing and reviewing, just even in a casual conversation about whatever new game or classic game or what have you, any game. Well, it's a really funny tweet, one of many, from the CEO over at Moon Studios, Thomas Mahler, who has been just such a crybaby, such a weird fucking guy on Twitter for a long time now. And, oh man, it is strange. It's so strange. I'm gonna put this Iron Mace away for now. It's so strange the shit that he gets up to on that website. Instead of just like making the game better and like getting his shit together, he just posts a bunch of dumb shit, and then people dogpile on him like really well spoken tweets, which it's like, when are you gonna ever hear me say that? Never. But still, like, the tweets have been really good in response to him. But what is he saying to garner this response? He put out a tweet a while ago. Hello, Wolf. Hello, Wolves. A while ago, but, you know, this was like several months ago. He was concerned with gamers throwing around the word identity crisis. He's like, guys, we're not making another Diablo clone. We're looking to make a unique experience. We're trying to push the boundaries. You shouldn't just say it's a Diablo clone. And I'm just thinking, yeah, your game does have an identity crisis. It is appropriate to use that term. You know, fix your game. Listen to what people have to say and fix it. You know? A solid game that's the same old, but executed with its own style, is going to be appreciated infinitely more than a new yet shitty experience. It's really as simple as that. Look, what else do I need to... I don't need to really say anything else in that regard. And, No Rest for the Wicked has a lot of conflicting, shitty ideas from other genres, which effectively garners its title, or its moniker. It's earned the moniker of having an identity crisis. I'll give you an example. It has Bloodborne-style healing, but worse. Bloodborne was already vastly shat on for its healing system, being the worst in the series. Okay? Guess what? They made it worse by adding in survival and farming aspects. Okay? So now you have a limited amount of food that you can get and use for every single boss fight run that you do. Cool. That's great. That's fine. You have a limited amount of flasks you can use in Elden Ring and Souls games. That seems pretty reasonable. And then the food you have to gather, and it's limited quantity and it doesn't automatically refill, and then you have to farm for it. This works in a survival game like Valheim. Oh, there's a door there. It does not work in a Souls game where you are dedicated to fight and fight and fight and die and die and die and die over and over and over again. You don't want to do that in Valheim. You are encouraged to do so and learn and get better and better, and then survive and eventually thrive in Souls-style action RPGs. And so you have conflicting design. Very clearly conflicting design. Same thing with the durability system. Durability can work in Valheim, and I already mentioned so many other systems in the previous episode where durability was done well versus done shittily. Let's get this ready. Come here. So you have really strange durability where they've mitigated it in No Rest for the Wicked, where, okay, you're not losing as much when you die. You're not losing as much when you die. And, oh, you can repair it, and we're going to reduce the repair costs, and this, we're going to patch it, but it might as well just not exist. Because guess what? You are inspired from Souls. Learn from them. What did they do over time? They gradually phased out the durability system. Do the same. It is really not that difficult to learn from. Phase it out. Okay, it was basically non-existent in Dark Souls 3, and then it didn't exist in Elden Ring. And guess what? Elden Ring came up before Wicked did. So, fucking ludicrous, man. Absolutely unreal. Like, why not? Just okay, you're inspired from this. Learn from them. Learn. Oh, so close. Boom, done. Give me a trophy, please. No trophy. Okay, so we got rooms on the left and right. It's going to be very easy to be flanked. Oh, hello. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go for a one-shot on these guys. Thank you. Trophy? Still no. Do we have metal here? Wolfang. Oh, it's not broken. I'm going to break it. I'm going to break it now. So you keep phasing out durability. You should have never had that type of durability in the Soul system to begin with. Okay, nothing here. Because you're meant to have a brutal game. You're meant to have an experience where you die and learn to die and learn, and then you master it. You know, you can scrape by and then you master it. So it's just so weird to me. Like, why aren't we learning? Why aren't we understanding from the goods in the genre, in the industry even, dare I say? We're just not learning from the industry, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. Is it an old room? Surely. Shout out Airplane the movie. Okay. See, I really don't get... I no idea why he's just not learning. And yeah, you fight a boss, you dying, learning, your shit's breaking, except you have to pay once your shit's like close to breaking to repair it at like the shop. Thankfully with in-game money, but that still sucks. And then guess what happens? You run out of food. You have to farm more. It's farmable, yes, but what you want to do really is just play the fucking game. Okay? This is not a survival game. This is an action RPG styled around Elden Ring. I know it's isometric, and a lot of people will go, oh, ARPG, oh, it's supposed to be like Diablo. It really doesn't have to be like Diablo. But it just does not work to have to wait instead of fighting. When people get to a boss, they want to fight the boss. Guess what you do in Valheim? You make so much fucking food that it doesn't matter. You just fight the boss again because you have shitloads of food. Okay? It is not the same in Wicked. No. You have to have food on food on food on food. And is it good to take time to do that? Yes, it is. But that's because of the really shitty timers that are in the game. Oh yeah, the timers are really bad. I think the shortest real life, yet also you have to spend it in-game timer that you have in Wicked to upgrade something in your town is a shortcut, and it takes 30 minutes to make. I was really put off by Enshrouded when they went and said, okay, you want this metal? Wait 5 minutes. Alright. Fuck that! 5 minutes to smelt the basic metal is ridiculous. And it doesn't stack the same way. It's like Valheim. Except it's just not quick like Valheim, right? So, bit of a strange design choice, you could say. It's just arbitrarily waiting more and more and more and more. More and more and more. Just waiting. And would people rather be waiting or playing the game? Is this a game that's supposed to have relaxing elements, like the cool farming and the tings that you get from Valheim that were added recently with the Bogwitch update, and like satisfaction of getting a good harvest? And you know, is this supposed to have a Farmville type vibe to it? No. That's why it's not aesthetically made like a fucking Farmville style game. You know, shout out Farmville from old Facebook game. But yeah, because it's not presented that way, it didn't cultivate an audience that looked for it. And so, if people aren't looking to have that experience, and yet you've provided it to the detriment of the overall game feel, you have a conflicting identity. You have an identity crisis of a game. And to deny that as the CEO, I mean, ludicrous. Ludicrous, out of touch with his own product, out of touch with the game audience, out of touch with the games industry. People have been talking, remove the timers for ages. And I think he's just gotten caught up with the survival bias. Because it seems like, oh, well, there's a good amount of the people who have purchased it and reviewed my game that don't mind the timers. Well, guess what? You don't know how many people would have bought your game if the timers would have been gone, that have an effective negative review that you just don't see because they haven't bought your fucking game. You don't get to see that. That's a survival bias. You won't see it. You have to fucking put your big boy pants on and imagine that. Okay? So, I don't understand that they just don't know, apparently. Like, I'm sure some of the people at Moon Studios understand. But some people just don't understand, especially the CEO, how, like, audience capture works. You don't understand survival bias. He doesn't understand how to make a cohesive game identity and game presentation when you're making a gritty game mostly designed around a Souls experience, and yet you put in a bunch of bullshit regarding like the worst of MMO mechanics and really janky and like not reading the room timers in regards to not only farming and healing mechanics, which again back to the Souls thing, but also just for the fucking town upgrades and such. It's like, oh god, it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. Like, sir, okay, you gotta learn from Bloodborne. You gotta learn from Valheim. You know, Valheim. Hello, we're playing Valheim. Like, do I even need to mention that one of the reasons why Valheim was so popular is that it did away with a lot of traditional systems that you were fighting in survival games. It just let you play the game mostly. You know? Like, oh, you eat or else you die. You drink water or else you die. No, you're probably going to die, but you can do a run without eating. Shout out Scales. You know? Water and thirst is not a concern. You're an undead Viking in purgatory. You're good. Like, these things are present in Valheim, and that's why a lot of players gravitated towards Valheim when they aren't particularly as interested in other survival games, me included. This is also why New World at launch was kind of interesting, even though it was made by a new studio from Amazon of all people. New World at launch wasn't really like a lot of other MMOs in a lot of aspects. And so, me and my friends were pretty fucking interested in it. We put in some time into it, you know? Beat the guy on the cover, and then we mostly lost interest because, you know, we'd done awesome dungeons and we're chilling. And honestly, that was the best place to stop playing for New World. Like, we did the right thing with that game. Overwhelmingly success at stopping at that time. Okay, we got wolves down there. Uh-huh. I guess we'll pull out the gear just in case. That's it. That's it for the cave too. Alright. Money. More money. Can you just give me the money? Thank you. But yeah, it's, you know, it's exactly what I talk about with weapons. If you're going to present them as legitimate options, then balance them legitimately. If you're going to present them as a joke, then it's fine, it's a joke. It's just all about just clear dev communication. And even if it's unspoken communication, if you're going to present something as one way, and then not as a joke, you're going to go the other way in terms of execution, balancing, and mechanics, people are going to call your game for what it is. In this case, with Wicked, it has an identity crisis. You know, these survival aspects do not matter. I don't want to wait. I don't want to do cheery survival stuff necessarily when I have action RPG boss right in front of me. I want to fight the action RPG boss. This isn't to say that I won't do interesting survival shit in my gloomy game. There is room for that. There is room for these things to technically exist. It is just not done in a way that gives me the best game feel, or pretty much anybody the best game feel, especially given the timing of it. You really want me to do this right before a boss, or in the middle of a boss, during the boss fight? Look, I'm a grown adult. I have introspection. I understand that sometimes when I'm, you know, sagging ass during a boss fight in Elden Ring, for example, that I just need to take a break and drink some water and breathe and get my heart rate back to a normal spot where I can go in clear-headed and destroy this fucker. Alright? I understand that that's a great possibility. I can do that without the game forcing me to do that. Do not force me to do that. When I'm fighting a boss, sometimes I want to ram my head into the boss and understand it. Give me the option, give me good player choice. That is quality of life that Souls games have figured out since the fucking beginning, pretty much. And you know what? In aspects that they didn't let you figure that out, the run back. Guess what Elden Ring did as quality of life? Steak of America. Hello? Reducing run back, reducing headache, and letting you just fight the boss. That is quality of life that has been only improved on with the Souls games over time. And you, over at Moon Studios, mean to tell me that you do not have an identity crisis with that game. Even though you are just not learning from elements of the past and inputting random aspects from other genres in to your action RPGs and be like, look, it's fresh, guys. Yeah, it's a fresh pile of shit. That's what it is. Enjoy that for fresh. Fresh steaming dog shit. That's fresh for you. Okay? Fresh. So fresh. Don't you love it? It's a fresh experience. Holy shit. The copium that this fucking Thomas Mahler guy goes on about is insane. Get your finger out of your ass and on the pulse of the gaming community. For once. Not for once. You made Ori! You made the Ori games so wonderfully. It's not my style of game, but you did it. Fucking do it again. And I don't mean make another Ori, although that would be cool. Make another excellent entry into whatever genre that you're looking to do well. And fix your shit. For the love of God, fix your shit. Alright, we need wolf pelts. I'm gonna take my Fenrir stuff. Let's see. Should have it in here somewhere. I do need to rest. Oh my god. If I get raided, it's gonna suck so bad. I'm just gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep and then I'm gonna craft. Let's see. Got Howling Cavern there. I'm gonna sleep now. But yeah, it's so strange. It's like, oh, we'll make a game fresh by incorporating survival elements at a time which makes it seem like we're not learning from past games in the genre that we're actually striving toward. It's like, what is the mindset? What is the mentality? I don't get it. I really don't understand. Is this arbitrary obsession towards freshness and something new experience, fresh. You made it new. The art style is amazing. You know, the writing seems cool so far. Like all this stuff looks and feels amazing. But you just gotta polish off the edges, okay? Introduce co-op. You know? I'm an idiot. No, I'm not. I upgraded it. Smart. Holy shit, I thought I was crafting a new one. Oh my god. No, I did it. Thank god. Alright. I kind of want to upgrade this because it's got that fire res, right? Although that's a set blessing. It's got the frost res. So, future capes, like, it might be Fenrir's time with the coat. I want to max out the coat. I mean, I want to max out the whole thing, but I like to max out the coat fast. I know the leggings is, like, common option because you can go into swamp with the leggings. But, because I've done silver already, and I'm pretty chilling on that. Like, the next time I'm going to be in the mountains is... yeah, I'm going to be kind of chilling. Alright, so Fenris leggings... 10, need to grab 10 again, that's fine. Let's craft those. Perfect. Now, I'm kind of banking on getting 12 plus Fenrir's Hair in the next Frost Cave, you know? I'm actually going to leave these in here to be upgraded. I'm banking on that because I really do think... Let's move this wood out of there. I really do think that I'm getting close, hopefully, in terms of RNG to the Cultist Trophy. So, hopefully I find one more Frost Cave. Seems a little unlikely on that Motor Mountain, but I don't know. It's a Motor Mountain. It's possible. We'll have to see. Let's quickly give it another look. I know I need to do some plains farming. I keep saying I need to do that. Yeah. So we've had 3 Frost Caves. There might be a 4th. Pretty good odds. Let's do some plains farming. See, isn't this a nice time to do some farming when you're just chilling and you have options? You have options. It's not like, oh, you have the one option. Like in Valheim, what's so good, and what kind of sucks about like bad weather RNG sometimes, is that you can exhaust all of your different options and enjoy the fact that you have options up until you want to do the boss fight, because you just want to do the boss fight once you're prepped for it. Once you're there, and you want to just... Nice tank. You want to just fight the boss. But sometimes bad weather gets in the way of doing this excellently. Like, I know that there's a unique boss weather, and that'll get rid of any shit weather, but still, it's just good for scouting and clearing the area of any nonsense ads. So, bad weather really shits on that, which is tragic. Like fog and snowstorms and whatnot. That's just no good. But, largely, Valheim's really good because it gives you all of these options so that you can prep and do the busy work while you're progressing into that next boss stage. And to just go through the normal intended experience that the genre provides and hit a roadblock where you're all of a sudden playing a completely different genre as presented, and you're just waiting, and you're just forced, you had this one option, but you've been forced into another option. That, I could not imagine a worse time for such nonsense than a Souls boss fight. Could not imagine. That is horrific. Absolutely horrific. I mean, just, why not just force me into an arbitrary card game? Like, you can have, hey, it's Johnny the Alchemist here. I'll give you more healing potions if you play my hand at Cromble Blomble. And then you gotta play him in a card game for some more health potions. Doesn't that seem fucking ridiculous? Are we not losing our goddamn mind? You know? You understand, right? You beat me extra good at Cromble Blomble. I'll throw in some mana potions in for you. Like, bro, just let me play Cromble Blomble on the side. You know? I'm chilling. Alright. Let's plant 15 of these, I guess. That's 15. Onions, 25. Okay. Oh, God. That should be it. Yes. Alright, let's make some soup. I should go into the plains, but let's make some soup first. Alright, so I should have 16 when I'm done. Yeah, ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I think what really cool Elden Ring builds do as well, that allows for build consistency. Not just like fucking with you when you're trying to fight a boss, and just like not worrying about resources during the process. Oh, I'm crafting a little more. That's fine. I don't have enough of meat for the skewers anyway. It's just extra onions. I do have boar meat for... Oh, I don't have that much. Let's just put the turnips away. Yeah, so we have soup here. Onions. Turnips. But besides that is game feel consistency, which was removed by the DLC, which a lot of people got upset by and annoyed by. I personally got somewhat annoyed by it, but going back into it and playing co-op and like being able to go back again, I will be totally fine. I'll be fine with the DLC stuff once I go in again. It'll still be annoying and there's still flaws in it, but the difference in game feel won't exist nearly as much, and I know how to adapt to that. But that was definitely a problem for a lot of people, especially me going into it. Oh no, I need that for the planes. Was the sheer difference in game feel, like going with one really solid early game weapon and being able to add on to it and tweak it, and it's like, oh, I got this Ash of War, I got this infusion for it, I've inputted my stats in this way, I've got these talismans and these physic, and a couple of buffs here, maybe some add-on things. Now I have a full power version of the build, but it still feels very similar. It's still a consistent game feel, even though I have certain aspects where I have improved dominance over the bosses if I have good execution and good gameplay and good habits, and the bosses are also stronger to match that, so the game feel feels pretty consistent when I'm dominating early to later, even though you know you're mechanically improving. And then the game feel consistency is just not... Oh, shit. It's just not the same in a game like Wicked. And that's sort of... A nice tank. Sort of to design with a lot of DRPGs, a lot of Diablo-style action RPGs, where you start off like relatively weak, and then you become just an absolute power fantasy, bricks your house, just dominating the battlefield in a couple of clicks, just million damage numbers, everything's dead, power fantasy, you know, keys jangling in front of the baby. And yeah, I know, it's like my bias showing towards that type of game, but also the game feel consistency just does not exist until you reach the bosses. The bosses in these style, a solid DRPG, should have game feel consistency. It just does not in Rest for the Wicked. It doesn't. Because you can absolutely destroy even the bosses with, like, even an easier time than ever before. And this reminds me of an issue with, let's plant 50 of these. Reminds me of an issue with God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, when you play on Give Me God of War mode, especially when you're redoing the tutorial and everything. All of the base mobs are wicked difficult, and then the bosses are easier. The base mobs and encounters just have like random shit, and it's just not designed for that level. It's the same thing with Kingdom Hearts 3 initial like proud mode, I guess, because they didn't add a critical mode until later. A lot of the encounters are just not designed for it. And same thing with Birth by Sleep. They just were not designed for the highest difficulty like KH2FM was, the GOAT of the series. And that is largely because they leaned into flashiness, and substance got left behind. So a really great deal of the flashiness in Kingdom Hearts 2. Yes, it's goofy as shit. It's part Disney. It was always going to be literally goofy at some point. You know what I mean? But generally, there are a great deal of aspects that are very mechanically balanced. And not only that, incredibly satisfying to pull off well, especially during bosses, but not just that, but versus great challenging clusters of mobs too. You know, it makes sense given the lore that the Heartless are a big problem, and it makes sense in the God of War lore that the Draugr are going to be an issue. But where Heartless mobs are sort of left behind when you get to later installments or later journeys in the games, and you only have to worry about Heartless bosses eventually. You really don't feel that on critical mode on these less designed games. It becomes an inverse of presentation and the actual game feel results. One that just doesn't feel, or just isn't appropriately mechanically, thematically balanced. It does not go down that line when it has in the past, and it should. And so the standard is higher, and it doesn't meet that standard. You know? All of a sudden, groups of mobs that are threatening are more threatening than what is presented to be the most threatening things in the series, aside from super bosses. Like, you know, Yozora and, say, Sigrun. These are really strange lapses in judgments in terms of game feel on higher difficulties, where you can really tell that even though some studios understand that higher difficulties are more than just increase health and damage relative per enemies, or decrease gore resistance relative per, some shit like that. Yes, that is true, but also you have to think of the proper balancing beyond that. Is the game designed for that? And, you know, credit to God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. They have named their difficulty systems, and credit to Kingdom Hearts, honestly. Honestly, credit to them. Because they've named their difficulty systems appropriately, where you see, like, there's a standard, normal experience, or just, like, give me a balanced experience in terms of God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, and standard mode in Kingdom Hearts, where they're explicitly telling you this is the way that we play. This is the intended game experience. We haven't really made these options for you. The problem is that they're still in the game, and so playing them and getting the most out of them is just getting the most of your money's worth. And experiencing that is just really nice, because a lot of the community has experienced it as well. Maybe your friends have, and maybe you want to experience that and get same joys that your friends did. Or just get the most out of the game in terms of money. You know, get your money's worth. So, I just find it really strange that I understand that there is a well-presented, well-communicated, well-displayed difficulty mode that is the standard, the intended form. But you added these other difficulties to the game. You did that. They didn't have to be here if they're going to be shit. If you didn't design for them much at all, and they're going to be RNG fest garbage slop until you get to the next boss, then why not just make it like a hard mode boss rush type of situation? You know? I think there's a golem somewhere. Yes. I heard your gravelly ass. Come here. You know, why not give us that? And, you know, I'm gonna be fair with, like, Elden Ring, especially, like, oh, hello. Where is the boss rush? Where is the boss refighting? I thought it would come in the DLC. It came in the DLC for Sekiro. Never appeared for, I need the pelt more than the meat. Never appeared for Elden Ring. And why is that? No fucking idea. Strange. There's a frost cave. I knew there'd be a fourth one, and guys, I promise I did not check this map. I did not check this map. Alright, there we go, frost cave. Okay, so I thought that one would be up here, but it's over here. That makes sense. Let's fuck up these drakes. Oh, come on. Shout out Huntsman Bow. Again, they're not aggroed. We love Huntsman Bow. Fuck. I hear a golem too. It sucks. Did I aggro a golem? Am I just losing my mind? There's a wolf. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. You can see here how game identity gets really fucked up, whether it's through the contrast of presentation in terms of lore and difficulty, or through the contrast of presentation when it comes through weapon balancing and legitimacy, or most common one when people label the identity crisis is through game, let's see, how do I put this? I'm trying to get the exact verbiage here. I mean, I don't want to just say game expectation and reality, because of course, you know? I want to get more specific than that. I guess it would be, more than game expectation, it would be genre expectation. And I guess like a broad way to encapsulate like all of it would be options presented versus actual mechanical options, or experiences presented versus the actual game UX, you know, throughout the game, all throughout. If you cannot keep things at a solid level that leads to gamers having a great deal of fun, even if you have what might be a technically polished experience, even if you have a good game experience in a vacuum, people are not going to receive it well, and it's going to get that identity crisis label, and it's going to earn it. And you actually see this a lot in restaurants. You see this quite frequently in restaurants, actually. I can just 91's good. You see this quite often in restaurants. And, you know, if I ever go to dinner with my mom, and she gets something that she didn't expect, like it's something different from what she expected, she's very disappointed. And me personally, if I have a legitimately solid experience, like if I order like, you know, a shredded pork and I get pork belly, I'm like, oh, okay, so I got an upgrade on my dish, you know. What? It's not what I expected, but this is awesome, you know. Whereas she, and I'm sure most people, if they're really in the mood for something and they don't get that, even if it's something that could be even better, even if it's something that proves new ground and is interesting, fascinating on a technical level, people will be vastly disappointed and give the identity crisis label. Well, not when it comes to food, but when it comes to games. And so you understand that gamers are going to be as fickle or more, especially in this age where there's a lot of shit out there. A lot of slop, a lot of sludge. People are going to be particular. People are going to want expectations. And not just in the basic quality of life sense, not just in the performance sense. When it comes to game feel and what you present as a dev, if it leads to certain expectations, and they are reasonable expectations, and the actual result does not reflect that, and instead, even if it reflects a neutral result, but especially if it reflects a worse result, people are going to be on your case about it. People are going to be on the game's case. They just are. And shit, if it's negative, I'm going to be on that game's case. Oh, I'm going to be all over its case. Okay. There's a door there. I might have aggroed something behind the door. That's pretty good, though. More wolves. Oh, yeah, I think it's reasonable. You know? Ah, bitch, what? Come on, man. You were clipped into the goddamn... Has anybody else seen that? I just punched a bat. Ludicrous. Has anybody else seen an Olf pop out of the fucking geometry before? Holy shit. A lot of breakable walls this time. I appreciate that. Another breakable wall. Okay, that's the end of that. Ben, where are you? Oh my god, it just doesn't stop. And then we have a door. Okay, so we've reached door and hole limit. I'm going to go down the hole first. What do you got? Sometimes these areas open up into an open room, so I want to be careful with... No, there's a closed room. I really want to be careful with my fire res here. This seems like closed. Yeah, it's closed, so probably a bunch of bats. Oh no, it's open! Ah! Okay, Moder, we know where she is. This is exciting. Let's go down. Ow. Not like that. How many golems? One so far? I put my iron mace away. Now I remember why I have my iron mace with me for these encounters. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I've got a bunch of arrows, I guess. I just silver sword him to death. That's very possible. Get my sword level up. Forgot it's cold down here. Well, it's good to have a frozen lake. I love these areas. Do I have any? No, no wood. I think I already have one. Right. Yeah, I remember that. Alright, golem, let's scrap. Come here. That's not what I wanted you to do. Big golem. Maybe I'm just... It might be a regular golem, but... Looks large. The bat attacked the golem. Alright. Good fight, good fight. Silver sword putting in work for me. Love all this crystal. Gotta start building with it soon. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Alright, up I go. That was good. Gotta be careful here. It loves shoving you to the left. Or just off in general. Okay. Very nice. Now we're back here. Room. Dead end. Cool. Let's go down the room. Looks like an old hallway. Yeah. It extends. Where does this extend to? More wolves. Okay. No wolf around that corner. What a lovely extension. I don't mean an ad blocker. More Fenris hair. You love to see it. Come on, I'm just trying to get the juke. Okay. Four Fenris hair so far. Not terrible, considering we don't have a big room. Not terrible so far. Any bronze? Any pile? Coins, bones. Let's get rid of that. No, come on, man. Any iron? Yes, sir. No bronze there. Okay. Alright, that is the hole done. And that is one room. Should be more. Let's hustle to this one while the fire res is still active. We got a room, ladies and gentlemen. We got a room. I got outspace. Thank you, fire res. Woo! Revenge is sweet. No cultist trophy. Just one? You're just gonna give me one? Ay, ay, ay. No bronze. Okay, well. Did not mean to double swap, but it is what it is. And more hair. 3 out of 4 hair is pretty good on the thingies here. I don't know what they're called really. Mini altars. 15 hair. Very close. Oh no, that is it. That's 12 plus. That's what I needed. Of course, I'll take as many as I can get, you know. No iron there. Bronze. Lovely. Okay, that's good. Is there anything else? Not on this side. Definitely not on that side. No. No. Absolutely not. I remember that area. Yes. Give me a trophy, please. Okay, we have an extension up ahead. Hello, old. Ow. Another extension. We'd love to see it. And that's it. No cultist trophy in this one. That's fine. That is okay. Love the iron, love the valuables. I'll yoink that for sure. Love the bronze bars. As many as I can get. That's nice. Hella coins. Okay, a lot of shinies in there. Let's check for necklaces. Any other piles? No. Iron check. No iron. Oh yeah. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah. No area down. No. Okay. Alright, let's mark it. All good there. And should just be able to sell back with these metals now. Let's see. Oh, quite a bit. 19 bars, not bad. Not bad at all. I should be able to take the bars back over to the Hilder area, set up the boats, and then should be good. Let's put some hair in here. Yeah, that's a good amount. Got more coal, glands. Good amount of valuables. I should put the leather in here. Gotta add more leather to that as well. I'll do that later. Let's see. Gotta make use of those barrels sometime. I don't know what though. Maybe Mistland stuff in the barrels. Maybe. Maybe plain stuff in the barrels. And make more barrels for Mistlands. Alright, let's max out. Nah, I don't need to max out rested right now. But yeah, I feel like I've said in the past that I sort of have a game identity bone to pick with my favorite game ever, Final Fantasy IX. It has like a minor issue with game feel in terms of combat, because all of your abilities for a good portion of the game are centered around physical damage dealers having like physical attack modifiers via abilities. And of course with the genius gear system and ability system that has, a lot of the gear and abilities, well, a lot of the gear and then a lot of the abilities are, all of the abilities are from the gear pretty much. A lot of that's just centered around melee, and that just disappears for most of the characters, except for, you know, I think the character that it disappears for the least, except when it comes to like level 1 runs or speed runs or challenge runs or what have you, is Amarant. He does it well because he starts off like really early, like really soon. Yeah, he immediately has like a throw option. He can throw shit from the back row. And that has its own ability for it later on, but it's strong enough to warrant a shift from, even greater shift from melee into ranged, especially when you get into the No Mercy ability, which is phenomenal. You know, get the Dragon Claws, then you get No Mercy, and now you're dealing this, you know, chakra orb burst from the back row, which is sick. Absolutely sick, and it'll take on whatever element matches the weapon that you're using, which is also awesome. And melee actually stays the most relevant with him because he has the best melee weapon in the game, the Kaiser Knuckles. Because it's wind, and the way wind element works in that game is that anything that's in the air is weak to wind, which again, so simple, but I love that design. Absolutely love that design. And so from the front row, he deals disgusting damage. From the back row, he deals disgusting damage. And you don't feel like it's betraying the fundamentals of his character mechanics, because he's always been a very versatile jack of all trades, master of a few of them. Which is an awesome type of character archetype to play with, especially in a party-based RPG. Or just an RPG in general. I am going the wrong fucking way. And what's especially fun about using him relative to the others is that he doesn't have a guaranteed damage maximum on his ranged attacks. They still follow formulas that can be boosted through intelligent ways via preparation or execution, or sometimes both. Usually on the preparation side, because that's how turn-based games go. But the other characters in question, namely Zidane and Freya, They have both just guaranteed max damage, where you put in the work in advanced and it's done, and that's it. You did it, and it's over with. And a lot of people are going to enjoy that. I definitely enjoyed that for a good portion. The novelty just wears off. And I just miss the old way that I've been investing and using and having fun with and getting neuron activation for all of this time throughout the vast majority of the game until you get to that point. So it just gets to a dissatisfying point, even though you're thriving in the game and dominating with these abilities. It just feels like a shift, an arbitrary shift in the player's favor, and an arbitrary conceptual character shift as well. Even though it makes sense thematically that these characters get these abilities. It's like, oh, Freya's a dragoon, and she gets Dragon Crest, which is the big guaranteed max damage thing, provided you've killed 100 dragons throughout the game, which is very easy to do. And, Zidane, it's like, oh, you get this formula where, it's like, number of successful steals times speed divided by 2 or something. I believe that's the formula. I haven't played in forever, but it's some sort of formula like that where you need to steal like 12,000 things, and then that the higher your speed goes, that influences that. But it's pretty easy to farm that, especially when you're in the mid game or the mid to late game, as it is, where you can just go to Ibsen's castle with Zidane and Eiko, and have Eiko spam Jewel so that you can go to Daguerreo and synthesize a bunch of gems to make Gernet's summons extremely powerful. And Eiko's, honestly. And then you steal a bunch of like really solid fucking items. Not solid as in like getting like good gear or anything, but just solid items from the mobs in Ibsen's castle. And even with the party of like 2 active members instead of 4, you are just styling. It's not some sort of giant grind because it's like 3 grinds at the same time. It is pretty convenient for a grind as far as JRPGs are concerned. And you get disgusting value out of it. Oh my god. Again, just 2 of the grinds via the gemstones alone, you are getting max damage from the back row. But they're from your mages. But from the third aspect, the thievery aspect, you're getting max damage from the back row, cheaper than the fucking mages, from your melee scrappy thief character. It is a conceptual oddity that does indeed warp the game feel. And legit, just having him have thievery being a really strong formula, damage formula based off of melee attack, and considering any ability modifiers that you have, like going for that, but having it be like a double mug style ability, considering he either has 2 daggers or a twin blade style, or what they call thief sword in the game style weapon. It would be better to just have like a really strong double mug that could deal like max 10,000. And that's more, but it would require him to be in the front row, and it would be a better style option, because do you want to just get hot damage right after the way and steal his stuff? Well, maybe, but it depends on the encounter. It depends on if you want to steal this at what time, or does the boss have a phase transition attack and you're trying to calculate damage to a certain amount. There's a lot more skill involved. It's a lot more thematically appropriate. It is a lot more character mechanically and game feel matching appropriate, which is what I think was left behind. Even though that game is an absolute masterpiece in other regards, love that game, will always love that game. It's still weird, and so yeah, like even considering I talk about this with my favorite game on this planet, okay, my favorite like thing on this fucking planet, Of course, when it comes to a game like No Rest for the Wicked, I'm going to talk about it in the same style of way. Here we go, I'll launch it. Of course, I'm going to talk about it in a similar style of way. Because that game could have been my new favorite thing. It was very close to that. Now, it isn't close on the result of it, but it still could be. I don't have my hopes up too high. I really don't. But it still could be. The styling, the lighting, Souls-like measured action RPG I love from Champions of Norath. I don't mind adding some survival elements with action RPG because I've played it with Dark Cloud. And I loved it then. It just has to be executed well. Of course, I love Souls, I love everything. I've got the fucking Elden Ring Discord server tag instead of the Valheim one because I don't really like the Valheim Discord server. And I'm not active on the Elden Ring Discord server, but being inactive versus just having a negative overall experience is two different things, and I'd rather represent Elden Ring in that regard. It's just a silly Discord tag anyway. Like, obviously, I'm still more of a Valheim channel. So, things are going well on that part. But still, you have all of these elements which I could come to love to such a point where it could be my favorite thing ever. You combine these town building elements, these survival elements which I love from Valheim. You combine these elements of action RPGs and good styling and top-down, which I've loved from Champions of Norath. And obviously town building like Dark Cloud and like all of these things. Like, and if you give them a fantastic stylized narrative with this, kind of dorky looking character models like which we had from Final Fantasy IX, it has everything that it needs to potentially make it my favorite game, my favorite thing ever. And it just fell flat. And of course I'm going to give it shit if it deserves it. Because how the fuck do you have such a gem potential of combined aspects, and the way that you implement them leaves it with an identity conflict? How? How have you done that? You were digging for gold and you found shit. How? How? I don't understand. Maybe it'll be bearable when co-op update drops. They've said it was going to be their next update. I don't know, guys. I don't have hope. I don't have hope for that. Because it has a worse update schedule than Valheim. It has a worse base game experience than Valheim. By far. It doesn't have co-op. And well, it doesn't seem like the community are talking about the updates in terms of just immense praise. It seems like they're talking about updates as mega fans in that community, the same way that me and Scales and people will talk about Valheim updates, where there might be an overall net positive in many regards, but a lot of aspects are still greatly disappointing. And I really wish that wasn't the case. Alright, we're bagging serpents. I do not have a harpoon. I keep forgetting that thing. Oh well. I don't know if I'm going to make the scale shield. I might make one for decoration later on, but man, this is rough. Rough water, so I'm going to drink some. Speaking of water. Drink some water. Please! Please! Yes! Victory. Victory! That is the Verger down. Yes, sir. Done and done and done. all of those times throughout this run saying, hey, pufferfish, hey, feel free to jump on my boat, you know? They've done it. They've done it, they've done it, they've done it, they've done it, and there's a serpent. It's a thing of beauty, guys. I'm gonna need to craft more widows once I'm home. Ow. Sir. Fucking hell. Ah, he's dead. Trophy! I didn't get it. Oh well. Oh well, bro. Okay. Is that another serpent? No, it's a grouper. I need to put the metals in the storage. Put the metals in the bag. Alright, we are chilling. So the ship just took a hit, but I think we should be okay. Can always land and repair if I ever need to. Oh, we're chilling, man. Alright, we got good loot. By far, incredible loot. Let's angle ourselves a little better. I almost made a pun. Not going to. It's a shame to not be able to grab that trophy, but honestly, I can't be too mad, man. I got the puffer. I'm chilling. I'm so chilling. Oh, look at that guy. That must be at least quality 4. And now everybody's jumping. We got fish jumping for days now. Yeah, I just don't think that, maybe if you go pickaxe on a serpent, you might be able to get a trophy. That would be kind of ridiculous. You'd have to get good bow RNG, right? And then jump and pickaxe, and if you miss, that's a disaster. It's just not worth fucking around for it. I'll harpoon it and get a trophy later. Wow, look at them go. They're hopping mad. They're jumping so high in the air. I love that they jump pancake mode and they don't have like an arc. I love the goofiness of that. Of course, jumping with an arc would be very aesthetically satisfying to see them do, especially when it's a storm. It would be really funny to see one jump real high in an arc, and at the peak of the arc just get struck by lightning. So like cooked fish floating in the water. Oh, look at these buffers, man. Ahaha, I already got one of you. I'm good. Alright, we got a Leviathan over there. We've got good wind again. Hooray. Hopefully this stays the same. Alright, we're making good time now. Oh, we're really hauling ass. I think what's also pretty brutal about the Kingdom Hearts game identity is that there's so many cool abilities that you get as Sora progressing through the game. And then they just insist on keep making him the main character for these games. And then they have to make another in-world reason why he has to start off at level 1, and then you don't get most of the movement options. In the game feel, it's like, bro, I want to be that Keyblade Master of yore, you know? I want to have the same game feel that I ended off on with the last one, with the same character. And it's another game feel inconsistency. It's just really painful. Of course, this could be easily solved by just making a different character the main character. Yeah. Just make a different one the main character for the next one. It's fine. You've got a bajillion members in the squad. It's fine. Just do that. Just do that. Of course, you guys heard last episode. You got a absolute earful of what I thought about Kingdom Hearts series going forward, and how it's kind of a oh fuck, hello. I did not know they have an active hitbox like that. Huh. No, I did not want it to keep going like that. Ah, well, he's gone now. Okay, well, let's just keep moving now. That's quite something. Boat's still doing well. Serpent is gone. That's funny. Just straight up rammed into him. I think I dealt damage to him too by doing that. Has anybody else rammed full tilt into a serpent before? I haven't been scouting for them. But yeah, I talked a lot about Kingdom Hearts in the last episode in terms of game dev red flags. Like, again, this goes back to the concept of going down the line. It just providing the best of what classic games have provided before in terms of game aspects. So, really funnily, in an interview, I forget with who, but there was a interview with the Final Fantasy 14 and 16 director about Final Fantasy 16, and he said, "Oh yeah, Final Fantasy fans, oh we're gonna crash. Final Fantasy fans, they really demand that the best combat, the best story, the best music, the best, and he was going down the line. And I was like, yeah, I think most gamers are right to demand that in general, especially for a AAA title that is part of a series which has high pedigree. Gamers are just right to expect these things. And people are right to, in general, expect high-quality products to go down the line with what similar products can offer them. Hello, another serpent? Yep. Alright, can you chase after me? Yes, you can. Why are you, doing it like that? Ow. Good, thank you. Shit. Oh. Can you fucking... Dude. I'm gonna have to switch to this. Bro, what is my aim? Okay. Oh my god! It is a good time playing Valheim today. No cultist trophy, but you know what? I'm feeling pretty good about today. I'm feeling pretty fucking great. Boy, pretty awesome. Oh, and I'm basically home. Wow. That is quite something. Oh, don't beat me, Storm. You know what? Stop. Okay, we're good. Unreal today. Unreal. Yeah. But yeah, like, even though things might not have the same priority as a well executed gameplay when it comes to game, you know, if there isn't a well executed X and Y, you know, it's not, may not be as important as the Z or what have you. May not be the priority. But if people are going to dedicate their time, if devs are going to dedicate their time, valuable effort into making these secondary aspects, and they are expecting people to, what am I doing here? They're expecting people to enjoy it. They're expecting it to be a part of the experience that you pay good money for. They are expecting, I think I've hit this rock in the same journey before. They're expecting you to come away with it as a valuable experience with these parts in mind. And they showcase that they don't know how to do these well. Then that should be a red flag that maybe they're not putting in the most care in the aspect that holds priority, which would be gameplay in the game's case. Maybe the actual gameplay is going to be dog shit if they can't even get pretty basic what if story elements down. Like, if you can't select a decent fucking storyboard option from your selections, okay, I'm not writing fanfic here, okay? I'm not doing, oh, that sounds like you want to write your fanfic. No, no. If they can't pick a decent storyboard option out of the ones that I'm sure they have selected and had ready, if they can't do that, then game might just be absolute trash. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned for the future of No Rest for the Wicked. And of course this works in reverse too. Like, I'm concerned for Wicked's story and lore because the gameplay's kind of ass. You know, I'm concerned for that. It's a little strange. Caring too much, right. I'm still caring too much. You know, and then I'm concerned for KH4's gameplay because the character focus is wrong. Character focus is incorrect because the base of KH3's ending was just arbitrarily executed. It's like, oh no, you know, we did this convoluted literally Mickey Mouse style bullshit. And now as a consequence, because we gotta have stakes eventually, oh, Sora's gone. And now we have an excuse to make Sora the main character fucking again. It's like, bro, calm the fuck on, man. Give me a goddamn break, dude. Just let the people have their happy ending and then fucking... just like, let the characters that actually have shit to work through shine and let them work through it in the next game. Holy shit. And yeah, they can't even decide on that. It's like, the shareholders want fucking brand recognition. Oh, people know Sora. They know Sora. They like Sora. Yeah, I fucking like Axel and Aqua too. Give me an AA game. Give me a game focused around like Axel, Isa, and fucking Aqua. You know, give me that. That's cool. You know, that character that like dropped into fucking, and then add Shion in there too. Fuck it. You know, you just can't give me that. These are beloved characters in your franchise, and you can't give us that. What are we doing here? So strange. Alright, this is the Explortal. Let's just put him in here. And then we have an absolutely glorious pufferfish. It deserves to go in here. Alright, test. Test, test, test. Gorgeous. Absolutely spot on, beautiful, lovely. Alright. We're good there. I gotta pick up more turnip stew. Whoa. I'm really low on turnip stew. Do I have it? I must have them in the chest in here. No? Did I just get low on turnip stew? Huh. Interesting. Let's go cook some more, I guess. Okay. I could cull some pigs too. Feed them carrots. Yeah, I guess I'll cook 9 more and then... Yeah. Turnips. I have some here. You know, I'm very distrustful and I'm very critical of studios and games and devs, but it's not without reason, because apparently Wu Chang has really horrific performance. It has mostly negative Steam reviews. I don't know about today, I haven't checked today, but yesterday, launch day, it had mostly negative. And so I immediately thought, like, damn. I didn't get it. I was unsure. I was hesitant. I'm critical. I'm skeptical. I had a feeling. Maybe I need to relax and check when it's out to actually understand the situation. And it paid off. I didn't spend my money, and I'm chilling, you know? And that game's like, I don't know, $35, $40 something, so feels good, man. Get to go out to eat at a fancy-ish spot for that type of money and just chill out. That's great. That is fan-fucking-tastic. Let's see. I need to put the potions away for now. Let's break this boat down. Get the serpent meat. I should cook up the meat as well. Absolutely fantastic. Let's get some stam just so that I can swim back. Okay, missing something. There we go. Nope, ancient bark is still... Here it is. Carrying too much, that's okay. That's fine. How am I still moving? Okay, there... I guess. Let's granny walk a little bit. Yeah, that serpent stew is heavy, man. Or the meat. Let's get the shit back in the barrel. I gotta craft more arrows too. Let's pick up a item stand worth of mats. Come on in there. Yes, perfect. Excuse me, hog. Gotta cull some hogs next episode. Give. Thank you. Ooh, this is exciting. I guess the big question, where the hell should it go? I didn't think I'd get one this early. I can put one over here. Maybe in there. See how it looks. Ooh, what the fuck? That is menacing. Very nice. Okay, hang on. Very nice indeed. Ooh. Beautiful. When this roof gets up and there's a windmill up there, oh my god. That's so sick. I love the little unevenness there. It just looks natural. You're just walking by. Fucking serpent jump scare. Oh, that is nice. That's so nice. Alright, and these crops are, I think, done. That's cool. I'll farm next episode. Let's get to cooking. I want to see how these do. Okay. Let's see. Let's get these stew ingredients. What is it? Even amount, and then double the red mushroom. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get some duplicates, yeah? Maybe the performance will get fixed on Wu Chang. I'm not expecting much, you know, because I don't know if anybody plays Monster Hunter Wilds. Please tell me if they fixed that PC performance, because I don't think they did. The reviews recently were just horrific, so I really don't think they did. And people were saying, coping, like, oh my god, they're going to fix the performance. It's so easy to fix. They're going to do it soon. They did not. They're like, oh my god, they're going to add new expeditions and they're going to add new hunts and it's going to be harder. What did they add? Like 3 classic ones recently? It's good that it was a free update, but still, like, man. That's pushing it, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. So, I don't know. Maybe the optimization will improve with time. But maybe they're going to pull a From Software Shadow of the Erdtree, where Shadow of the Erdtree reduced performance on base game after they improved it. So, they improved it in base game update cycle, and then Shadow of the Erdtree came out, and oh boy. And they haven't really fixed too much of it. They really did not, and it's been about, what is it? About a year now? So, interesting. Yeah. Interesting indeed, huh? Yeah, so I don't trust people when they cope and they say like, oh well they'll fix their performance, that's easy. Well, maybe game developers just don't give a fuck. You know? Crazy thought. Some game devs really just do not care. To end this on a more positive note, as I cook up this serpent meat and serpent stew eventually, what do you guys think I should do with crystal? I know I want to put it in there, this little strip here. I know I want to put some, maybe in here eventually, but I just don't know where else. Come on, ting, sink to come out. Give me a duplicate. Please. Oh, it's the honey that's a duplicate. Oh, thank God. Double up on the honey and not the red mushrooms. So let's get 13 red mushrooms away. And I need 13 honey. Alright. Give me some things now. Please. Oh, well, that's fine. Look, I got a pufferfish, I got a serpent trophy. I'm chillin'. I'm chillin'. And not at Cedar Rapids. Maybe I should make more feasts. I don't know. Maybe for sailbacks and such. And building. I haven't done too much building expansion recently. However, now might be the time. I got plenty of crystal to mess around with. I definitely want to fill in these gaps with crystal. Some of them, at least. Ooh, it's going to be hype. It's going to be hype. Next episode, it's going to become sooner than the gap between this and last episode. I swear. Put some stone golem trophies down, maybe. Oh, this is hype. This episode, I cannot believe it. Oh, the only cherry on top would have been a cultist trophy. No such luck. I'll have to venture off to a different mountain. Next episode, next mountain, building with crystal, doing a whole bunch of additional stuff. Hopefully we finish off the Fenris set, and then it is Bone Mass and Modair back to back, like I love to do. And I hope y'all love to watch it. Well, I'll also have to farm and craft a bunch of wood arrows, but that's easy. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys some other time. Bye!